I won't go. I won't go into.
He's lucky my internet is glitchy, or I'll tear him up right now.
Yeah, you guys have gone over everything, so I'll just if you hover over my box here, you'll see it's not Matt, my name, it's Mr. Right, because that's what this episode proved. I said we'll get Agatha first Wanda, which we know was obvious, so let's tick that off the list. I said Vision on Vision. We got Vision on Vision. Let's tick that off the list. I said Hayward versus Monica, and then no one said that last week. I got that right. Let's tick that off the list. It's actually more like Darcy. Pietro was a random dude and wasn't Quicksilver. Okay, let's tick that one off the list.
That was good.
The kids weren't real.
Well, we knew they weren't real, but
okay, let's tick that off the list.
I didn't you say, Matt? Like I quote, I reckon Mephisto or Dorama is not even involved.
Yep, I was right.
Wait a minute, I've been saying this from the beginning.
You didn't.
If anyone's an anti-Mephisto person, it's me.
Hold on,
Matt, give Nick the star for the Mephisto. He's gonna kill us. He's gonna us.
That's not quite right, though. That's not quite right. At the very end, I have to jump in here. At the very end, we hear Billy scream out, "Mom!"
Yeah, because they're in hell, and she's gonna have to go to hell and save them. I know what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, but it's not in the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
That's right. Agreed.
We all agree.
It could be anyone. It could be a brand new character we don't even know about.
And then at the end, could something? You know what, Manny? I want you. What happened to Agatha at the end?
She was a bad guy the whole time, and then she got her just desserts.
What happened?
She didn't become a goodie. She didn't become a goodie. She got controlled.
Let's tick off that.
She got controlled into being a goodie. Okay. She didn't become a goodie.
Because she became good at the end of the day.
She didn't have a choice.
She was controlled. Yeah, there was no choice.
She had a choice or not had a choice. She became good.
Okay.
Matt never said how she's going to become good.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
But I think Vision, however, I like the scene with Vision where they were talking. I know a lot of people prefer the big action, and we did get the Vision from some film clip. I don't know. I can't remember. I remember some bloody chicky film clip where the car blew in the background and was just walking
like a Terminator scene. It was like a fake ass Terminator scene.
So I think he's passed on his memories though to White Vision because the one thing that I didn't like about this this episode is that it leaves a lot of unanswered questions, and I think Paul Bettany, I forget how to say his last name, I think he probably copped a lot of heat when he said on that interview there's going to be a big cameo. I reckon as soon as the camera stopped rolling, they were like, what are you saying? What the hell are you talking about? Everyone's going to have these high expectations. That's why I reckon he came out at the end and thought, shit, I'll say I'm joking now, instead of saying that he was joking, because then everyone would expect more, because like, oh, hang on, he's trying to hide that there's a cameo, so I guess he waited to the end to say I'm joking. I guess he screwed up there, and less and less someone did, and they took it off the chopping block. I'll put it on the chopping block, I don't know, but I feel that because there was so much build up that this episode, this season finale, just didn't really hit the nail on the head. Like, I know that it's got to lead into a whole other stuff, but I just didn't really think it hit the nail on the head. The post-credit scenes, now I know everyone's like the scrolls and all that. I think that like, I'm not too knowledgeable for my Marvel, but I reckon because isn't Secret Invasion's got scrolls and all that involved? Is that right? Or because I reckon maybe that post-credit scene is going to end into Secret Invasion, because there's a show Secret Invasion, or they're on the movie Secret Invasion.
A show.
Okay. So I reckon that might lead into there, or
which is stupid. Worst crossover event ever done.
So it might lead into there, or it might lead into Captain Marvel 2. I just think that it's going to lead into somewhere. Yes, I do. Let's say this, agree with Carlo and Nuno.
How do you do a scroll story without the Fantastic Four? That's just stupid.
No, Nick, you're gonna love it. Trust me, bro. You're gonna love this one. Trust me, they're gonna hit every one of your points.
This is one of the reasons I stopped reading comic books in the mid 2000s.
This is the Nick I like.
They might change it. They might.
WandaVision sucked.
They might change it up.
Great.
So.
I hope this leads to the Shi'ar, and we get the X-Men, and I hope we get fucking Gladiator punching people in the face. I hope we get all sorts of crazy space battles. If they do Secret Invasion and all these characters are freaking Skrulls, first off, they're not going to do it right. Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Wright. But they're not going to do it right because half the characters that they need to do the story correctly don't exist. The first character that they cut open and find out is a scroll is Elektra. She doesn't exist. Like, you need to have all these characters established to have it. Okay, so 5 characters of scrolls. Dude, you got
this show meant to be released on?
15 characters. The reason why it was such a big impact is that half of the Marvel Universe were scrolls. So you had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of characters that were now not those characters, and you had them coming back from like different time periods, have been frozen in time, and it was such a big thing. And I thought they did that poorly. And they put a lot of time and effort into it, and I thought they did that poorly. Imagine them doing it without the character development, without the character backgrounds, without the proper rosters. It's without the Fantastic Four fully established. Like, the Skrulls are a product of the Fantastic Four. They came out of the Fantastic Four. It's like when they did Vision. When they did Vision and they did Ultron, they said Iron Man made Ultron. Bullshit. Bullshit. It was Ant-Man. You just introduced Ant-Man. You introduced Henry Pym after Ultron. Garbage. Nonsense. Doesn't make sense.
And yet it's making money, though. They're doing their own story.
Second Ant-Man. You introduced Wasp. It's not even the original Wasp.
Yo, chop this video up. I need this rant. I need this highlight.
I'm sorry, I haven't really ranted in this whole review series, but I'm going off right now. I'm sorry. But, this is, I like this show.
WandaVision did to you?
I hope it leads to things being done right. But if they use this as an excuse to do shit bullcrap and do the Marvel special where they, ruin a good thing when it's doing great, let's do the Clone Saga. Oh, let's put it for, 3 years. Let's go for 3 years long. Don't screw up a good thing. You have a great amount of movies. They're great. You haven't really gotten a rotten egg yet. You've been close, but you haven't. Don't screw it up.
Why are you so scared that they're going to screw it up if they haven't gotten any rotten eggs?
Because they're going to do a storyline that some people...
They fucked up Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is definitely
there
right.
There you go.
Let me just tick Nick's not watching Secret Invasion off on my list here. Okay,
I'll be right back. I gotta go decompress.
Shit, Nick, you got enough hate for all of us for these shows. God damn. I started liking WandaVision after I heard Nick's rant. I'm like, WandaVision's not that bad. Hey, Matt, what's up, though, man? Finish it.
Wow. Obviously, I'm not going to mention Secret Invasion again. That triggered a spot. But and then the final post-credit scene that I can finally get to with Wanda, I think she might lead into a bad, another thing that I'll probably be right on. But I think she's going to lead into a bad in the multiverse. She's going to she's going to let the evil powers take over her, and I think it's going to be about her trying to take control. Or I can see, hearing her kids screaming. I can see her, going into hell or making a deal or something. I think something like that's going to happen. She's going to be bad, but she's not going to be intentionally bad. But that one thing, my favorite part of this whole series, and I can't believe it has to happen right at the end of the series, but my favorite part was Wanda becoming her Scarlet Witch, purely for the fact we go and see some girlies dressed up as cosplay. I think it's going to be pretty dope seeing people dress up as that, men or women. Hey, but yeah, that's about it I've got to say on this show. But it's just a lot of unanswered questions, man. A lot of unanswered questions, which I know are going to lead into other shows and other movies. I think this was just the setup to, it's set up the movies and it's set up the TV shows. That's what this season has been for. But yeah, I feel sorry for everyone that really had to build up on good old Pietro there. That was probably, I think, the biggest kick in the stomach for everyone. But it's just Marvel being Marvel, and I think X-Men are I thought if X-Men were getting introduced now, I think we're going to be waiting a while. I think we'll be waiting a while. So don't hold your breath on X-Men, guys. But yeah, Manny. What you got, boy?
On that note, I mean, the mutants has been announced, kind of. I don't know. Carlos can probably talk more about that, but it has been announced.
She's had her power, like I said last week, she's had her powers this whole time. So technically, is it a mutant power, or is it?
I mean,
Pietro obviously had it the whole time as well. Then
she is not a mutant technically in the comics right now. Pietro, yes, but her, it's
maybe the Mind Stone. Is it the Mind Stone or the Salt? What stone is it? Yellow one? Is it the Mind Stone? Maybe that triggers some DNA in people to bring in their mutant powers. I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, it's a lot of unanswered questions. But go, Manny, what you were saying?
That is no. So I was just gonna say a couple of things that I noticed. When Agatha and Wanda are fighting, there's a billboard behind Agatha, and of course, there's references everywhere. So I had to stop and I had to look. I paused it, and the billboard behind her, it says like something about like a spray cleaner or whatever, but it's using the power of Earth. So that kind of tells me like if it is a reference, if it's something, power of Earth, I get Gaia off of that. Is Wanda using Gaia? Is that where her source of power is? I don't know. But honestly, I didn't really see anything past that. But Agatha stood in front of that billboard for a long time, so I'm like, I wonder if that's gonna be something in the future. So if it does come up later in the future, you heard it here first. My main thing that I wanted to say about this episode was that the chemistry between X Vision and White Vision is horrible. Chemistry is horrible. So I don't know why the fuck that Paul Bettany said, "Oh, you're gonna love it. The chemistry between us is great. The cameo is amazing." Blah blah. No, it's a horrible chemistry. No, I hated it. The fact that as soon as we realized that he was talking about himself, I thought that was pretty messed up. But he does make up with it. With my favorite part of the whole series and this episode was how you guys have been talking about the fight between Vision and White Vision. As soon as Vision put him in a headlock and said, "But I'm not the Vision. I'm a conditional Vision." As soon as he said conditional Vision, I knew that it wasn't going to be a fight. I loved it. I appreciated it. I like the fact that one of the main things I liked about WandaVision is that it doesn't need to be action, and then that's MCU. That's everything. That's a Marvel movie, and this is following the formula. This was let's talk this out. We don't need to fight right now. Let me tell you why we don't need to fight. And then White Vision saying, "Elaborate." That was great. That was amazing. I loved it. And the whole discussion about Theseus' ship, I feel smarter just listening to that because it was a great discussion. But then it was ruined just by the fact that Vision gets his memories back. He runs away. Like, where did he go? That's one of my questions for at the end. Like, why did he just run away? If he truly got all these memories back, why didn't he run straight back to Wanda, protect her from Agatha, protect the kids? Because of the same memories, he would want to protect his kids, right? That's just a negative on my part. Another negative I will say is that I didn't like that Agatha said Scarlet Witch is more powerful than Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme. There's no way that she's more powerful, but the more I think about it, it is pretty evenly matched. And I know that Wiccan does become Sorcerer Supreme in the comics in the future. So it kind of makes sense. But I just don't like that comment. I didn't like that at all.
I think it's because her powers are more wild than his, and his are more controlled. That she could do something crazier than him because she can let go and he can't.
Yeah, she's got that chaos magic, which what Agatha is saying is that she's going to destroy the world. You have no idea what you release into this world. So that's probably definitely going to come into play with Doctor Strange too.
And real quick, I feel like that's foreshadowing to what I mentioned, that I truly believe that Wanda is gonna break reality.
Yep. The next thing I really didn't like was Jimmy Woo not being the bad guy, but Jimmy Woo. Jimmy Woo, when he was chained, he's arrested, he's got his hands handcuffed behind his back, and he sees the phone. Nobody else there's so many like soldiers behind him. Nobody else is gonna see him like pick up that phone. Come on, like that's come on. There's no way. And
And wait, what? Do people not have passcodes on their phones?
Yeah, exactly. That's not his phone. That is not
It's a
his phone.
secret intelligence place.
Like,
and there's
if I
no
was on
passcode.
movie, I would have knocked them out. Bam.
I don't know. That was ridiculous. And one of my main negatives, though, is the fact that Wanda did not address the civilians. She did not publicly say, "I'm sorry. This is what was happening." She didn't explain herself. The civilians, for some, like they know to a certain point what's going on, yes, but she should have at least apologized. The very minimum, she should have turned around when she was done talking to Monica and just said, "Sorry for what I did. Won't bother you again. Blah blah blah. I'm leaving. Who knows what? Watch out for Agatha. She's still a bad witch. You know, like something. You know, like watch out for her because she's a baddie, not a goodie. You know." So like,
they had Vision and her do the same thing where
Yeah,
they just run
left.
away, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's kind of more to the point because like you're so overloaded with this guilt or this emotion or all these memories, and instead of facing them, like who faces their problems right on, you freak out and then you do it.
yeah, exactly. And she just ran away, and that was kind of weak. I did appreciate a couple of references, like the Wizard of Oz reference when Agatha got hit by the car.
Boots underneath the car, yeah.
Yeah. And then the nod to Age of Ultron when Wanda got behind Agatha and she like just showed up real quick and just like did her whole little mind hex thing. That was great. And the last thing that I actually didn't notice it, saw it on Instagram like today, but it was the Quicksilver reference with the kid Speed. He stopped all the soldiers, and when he came back, he's wearing the hat and the glasses of the soldiers, and it showed a picture of Quicksilver in the movies, and he's wearing one of the hats from the soldiers, and he's got the glasses from them.
The Pentagon, yeah.
Yeah, so like that was pretty cool. Just the fact that he did that. And then going back to Carlo, the fact that Evan Peters just flicked her off, I thought that was great because it really does explain speed. Like imagine flicking somebody at the speed of sound, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get pushed away. You know, so that explains that. I like that. It's one of the few times Evan Peters' Quicksilver is like the only time that speed is really used properly. If you're gonna get punched at light speed, you're not just gonna feel it like a regular punch. You're gonna feel it like something just came at you at light speed. The faster something hits you, the worse it hurts. But that's pretty much it. I loved it. I loved the whole series. My favorite part was the whole let's talk it out instead of fighting. My only question is where did White Vision go? Vision. Where's Ultron? We saw the whole like, hey, he's in the credits. James Spader was in the credits. Is that just another something that Marvel did just to troll us? And the main thing at the very beginning when White Vision showed up, how the hell did White Vision get there before Vision? Like Vision was already on his way when White Vision was introduced, and then he just shows up out of nowhere. You know, like that was ridiculous. I do really. My second favorite part of this episode was when Vision he's about to disappear, and he says, "We've said goodbye before. Stands to reason that we'll say hello again." Like that was a beautiful moment, very emotional, very touching, and obviously they are going to say hello again. White Vision is going to show up, hopefully in color, but that was just a good ending for all of that. And I don't know. Is there anything else left to say about this?
I'm
Was
good with
there a
White.
post-credit scene with Ultron at the end?
No.
When she was doing the little hexing or something, they showed a bunch of scenes of Ultron and Avengers fighting them or something. I think that's where the Ultron credit comes from.
That's true.
Well, the Ultron credit is from all the flashbacks.
Yeah.
Throughout the series.
My final thoughts. aren't so much, I guess, on the show. Oh, I guess they are, but it's the fact that Marvel took a risk.
Yeah.
This was an experiment. I've never seen anything superhero related done the way that WandaVision was done. It's unique. You have to give them that, and that's what I enjoy. Is that for as formulaic as a Marvel movies can be, because they do follow a certain formula. When you sit down and you watch a Marvel movie, you know you're watching a Marvel movie, right? But I think this was extremely unique, and I enjoy that. And Marvel is continuing to take risks, and I think that that's paying off. I mean, look at Guardians of the Galaxy. What they turned into, and how popular they become, and the fact that they were able to pull it off. So from something like Guardians of the Galaxy, taking a chance on Black Panther, to now doing an extremely unique show like this and setting up Phase 4 of the MCU with all the shows that we're getting and the movies. A lot of people talk about superhero fatigue in general, Marvel fatigue. I don't see that happening anytime soon if Marvel can continue putting out quality shows, quality movies like this, where you can just sit back, you can enjoy it, and it, it it's just nice. And I am extremely happy to be living in a time that we have been living in a time for so long, that we get to see these characters, and it's awesome. So those are my final thoughts on this.
I think that this is a great point, that Marvel should focus on the side characters and the B-rated and the underrated characters, because it gives people that aren't familiar with the comic books a chance to connect with a character that there's not as much about. Because look at Wanda and Vision. There was one or two old series, and you have the West Coast Avengers stuff. And that's it. There's not that much reading about them. As obviously there's years of them being together, but there's not that many individual stories about just them.
Well, and if there is, they're never long ongoing titles, right?
No.
They're miniseries, they're events. Children's Crusade, Scarlet Witch's, what was it? 15-issue series.
Yeah. So if you want to catch up, or you want to buy those hardcovers or whatever, you can read that stuff digitally, whatever. You can catch up, and it gives people a good jumping on point to get into stuff. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy. It was it was a popular a cult favorite series, but not everybody read Guardians of the Galaxy, and this wasn't even OG Guardians of the Galaxy. This is Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy that they kind of focus on. And they made it. And look how popular Guardians is now. Because of that. Guardians was not that popular. I'm waiting for them to take series New Warriors or Thunderbolts, or they did the Runaway shows, and I know they're not canon in the MCU, which sucks. But the Runaways was not a crazy popular series.
It still really isn't.
That's what you said today, right, Nick?
More people that know about it now because of that, because of that Hulu series. Sure. But I found out about that series when I was in high school. Marvel used to do a thing where they take some of their lesser known stuff for some reason, and they would take the trade paperbacks, and they would make them into mini books, smaller size, the size of a manga. I don't know why, but they did that with Runaways. And I found it in my high school library, and I read Runaways randomly, and I was hooked. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. This is like a teenage sitcom, Smallville type comic book about these kids that find out their parents are villains, and then find out they could do stuff and then become heroes, and angle with the Avengers, and end up in New York City fighting against the Punisher, weird shit. And I was like, oh, this is sick. And when they turned it into a show, I was like, oh, this is really cool. They need to focus on that stuff because it's really good jumping on points because you're not going to have, if you mess with characters that are fan favorites, you get the backlash of Nuno and Carlo.
It reminds me of another dislike.
I was saying,
why was Jimmy Woo in Westville? Like he was supposed to be looking for somebody missing. Like,
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. Who the fuck?
I mean, it would have been cool if he was looking for Ralph Boner. Like, okay, that's a missing person, so tie that in. But why was Jimmy Woo in Westville? It's just very random. Like, explain that. He was just passing through Westville. It's like, I'm in the mood to look for a missing person in Westville out of all places. So that could have been explained. And also, who the hell is that astrophysicist Monica knew she was going to text? It was just thrown away. Like, I wanted somebody. Like,
little mama behind you.
She looks like an astrophysicist. She looks like a fucking alien. And
Wasn't it the chick that they met up with? The chick that got him the...
Maybe, but she was nobody.
Oh, wait, that was her. There's another reason that was right. Tick. Cool. Yeah.
And also, where did White Vision go? It would have been nice if you would have seen, like,
an after credit with him.
He's building Ultron, guys.
Cool.
How would he build Ultron after seeing all of this
Daddy issues?
He's going to go to all the places to remind him of himself. He's going to go to all the places of Vision, where he died, where he was with Wanda. He's going to go to all those places, find out who he is, and become Vision again.
It would have been cool if you see him with the Golden Gate Bridge behind him, like hinting West Coast Avengers, or him going to Hawkeye, like, hey, Hawkeye, we should start something on the West Coast.
That could happen after the Hawkeye series.
Hawkeye tracks
There is a Hawkeye show coming.
He tracks him down. Nice one.
Yeah. I thought they would they would have that happen before the series because then it would be not focused on Hawkeye. I feel like at the end of all these shows, there's going to be something like these characters. Wanda, Vision, Hawkeye, Falcon, Winter Soldier, She-Hulk. Like there's going to be some kind of like.
That's how you guys have been saying. It's Young Avengers seems to be the obvious choice. Could be champions. It could be a whole different new
I don't
team.
see my problem with that. The only issue I see with it, I agree with everything except where the frick does She-Hulk tie into any of that?
She's a lawyer. She's a lawyer. She shows up.
But
But Nick, you were mentioning Runaways. I was talking about Victor Munch, the old son, and you were just talking about Runaways. So that's funny. I just finished the Vision, the little 12 series one. All you guys should check it out. It's actually pretty good. Yeah. Victor's in it, and they actually reference like Runaways and a bunch of stuff. So I guess the Vision comic is then canon as well because he's in it and he's referencing Runaways. So it doesn't really.
The Runaway, the cool thing about this is that Runaways in the mid 2000s had a ton of crossovers with Young Avengers. That was like whenever there was an event like Secret Invasion, Civil War, they just tied the two stories together. But I have a bunch of the trade paperbacks where it's just Runaways and Young Avengers, Runaways and Young Avengers. They tied them all together for some reason. I don't know why they always did that, but that was their way. Like, the teenage teams, we'll just group them together. We'll just, they're not X-Men, so we'll just group them together. There were two completely different teams or two completely different themes, but they tied them together. And the Runaways, the only real connection they have to any like major villain besides their parents is Victor being related to Ultron.
And he has a cool backstory. I mean, I get what you were saying, like, like a waste character and like he's not even real in the MCU, but really cool story. Like his mom finds Ultron's head.
Yeah, it's a cool story. But then the Young Avengers is the team that makes the most sense because Patriot's like uncle was like a black superhero that fought alongside Captain America, and you had freaking Hulkling, which is the son of the OG Captain Marvel, and you have Wiccan and Speed, which are Wanda and Vision's kids, and Kate Bishop, and then you have Stature, which is the daughter of Scott Lang, and you have Young Vision, and I feel like I'm missing someone, but like you had all these characters had super close ties to Avengers, and that's why they were like the Young Avengers. And it was so cool because of that. And the Runaways was the opposite because they were just brand new characters that had nothing to lose. You could do whatever you wanted with them. They had one that was named after literally named after a Beatles song. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Like, literally a character based off of Beatles songs. Because she was an alien, and when she took her bracelet off, she was made out of this pure sparkling light. And it was just such a cool thing that I could go on for hours about 2000s Marvel and how they did so many things right. And then what they did wrong. And I just don't want them to go down this whole Skrulls thing without developing the universe better. I think, when they did Civil War and they skipped over the Registrations Act and what that really meant, I feel like they really screwed up the universe. I know there wasn't that many heroes at the time, but like I think they need, like with Iron Man being dead, I think someone needs to bring up registration. Like, this is important. We need to do this and have the side effects of that. What that meant on the Marvel universe was so catastrophic. You had people that were best friends for years taking sides against each other, and we got to see that little mini battle where Spider-Man's introduced. But like the extent of that in the comics was so huge, it was ground shaking. And I hope they're building something like that because these lesser known groups like Great Lakes Avengers. I hope they do the Illuminati. Like, I would really like to. Like, that's how we get Reed Richards. Is he's in the Illuminati? Like, because you already, Iron Man doesn't exist anymore because he's dead. But you could be flashbacks to him.
It could be Black the protocol, the Iron Man with the blue head, like the hologram Iron Man. It could take.
Yeah, but you can have flashbacks to them, like this whole time of this stuff. And there was flashbacks of Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, Black Panther, and him all together, and then talking about this stuff. Like, that could be how they do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought when they said the Iron Man coming back, that's how they're gonna do it. Like how they have the toys when he's just like a hologram in the suit and then like a blue head. That's how I figured that they're gonna bring him back in other movies. But I was talking.
I really hope they don't bring him back.
Hey, that would be dope though. If he was like a hologram, like it would just be cool, I guess. See how badly they messed that CGI up. But anyways, I liked Victor, and I was mentioning him in the chat because he's Vision's brother. Whether it's fake or not, I understand, and he's Ultron's son. But it's dope to see he's addicted to vibranium, from Wakanda, the metal from Wakanda, because it does something to his circuits, like it calms his circuits. And he literally steals Claw's entire hand because it's made out of vibranium, and Claw's dead, so he has his whole hand in his like little locker, and he's charging up on it. I just thought that was cool. Like, they don't really show you superheroes or villains like with their little issues like that. I thought it was pretty cool.
Shout out to Carlo with a dope background.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I've been looking at it, right?
I mean, based on what all of this can potentially set up, well, I want to like really hear what everyone's final rating is on the show. I guess mine is a 9.5. To be honest with you,
I'm going to give it a solid 8.
8.
Mine was like a 9.7.
Matt,
5.
No, Matt. No.
You gave
Matt,
it
bring out the color back.
Matt, you gave it a 10 the other day. Give it a 10 the other day.
And what did I say after that? I said, freaking, you watch, they're going to drop the ball. Nah, I'll give it an 8.
Let's say you can't average. That would mean that this last episode was like at least a negative 50 for it to go from a 10 to a negative 5. You can't.
No, last episode. Last episode, the emotional one, that was a 10. Yeah, goes to an 8. It just drops. Don't forget that was my first 10. Every other time it's been like an 8 well, started off at a fucking 3, so technically it's still gone up in percentage. So
final rating for the season.
We can't be biased, guys, or people are not going to tune in and watch because we have a lot of listeners that didn't like the show too. So my score got to be low. But I'm just joking. On a realistic, I'm between like a 7.5 and an 8, like right where Nick and Matt are, like respectively. Like I said, as a whole, you know, it stacked up on the score. It just didn't have what I like, and I can respect everyone's opinion, like you guys respect mine. So definitely.
I don't respect that opinion, but okay, yeah, keep going. Well, I think that's a pretty good way to wrap up WandaVision. It is the series finale, so we're probably not going to be doing any kind of more reviews on that, but we will be doing reviews on Winter Soldier and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. After that, it's Loki.
CW, right?
We can definitely start doing the CW shows. Lois and Superman.
Superman. What is the Superman on, Matt? You the one who's
jump on Superman Lois, but that's episode 3's next week. But that's the only one I'd be worth reviewing. I wouldn't even bother reviewing the Iris. I mean, the Flash.
I think you're the one. I think you was pushing for the Superman and Lois one.
Well, after to be honest, these 2 episodes, I don't like. After these 2 episodes, like shit, it's worth it. But I wouldn't review any other CW show.
And we'll definitely find
Matt, we got to review Titans.
We can definitely find a way to get all of these.
CW, Superman, and Lois.
No, CW. Titans. We'll just do Titans.
Just do Titans.
We can definitely
CW, Superman. Okay.
No, because they're gonna mess it up.
Okay.
So the way to do all of these, we can either do them on Saturday. We can do them all on one on Saturday, or we can do them like throughout the week. I don't know how much time you guys have, but like I was thinking, if we just do them on Saturday weekly, like we do, we can have like Matt watches Superman and Lois. We can have Nick watch Titans and talk about Titans or something like that. Definitely, we can talk about it later, but I don't know for sure. For sure, we're gonna do the MCU ones, CW ones, or DC in general.
It just gives us more tags. Like we're able to tag the video onto different genres, and maybe somebody likes Superman and they hate everything else that we're talking. Exactly. You never know.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Cool. That's cool.
But I enjoyed Wanda. I enjoyed doing these reviews with you guys. Other than that, I think the last thing is to say thank you for watching to all our viewers. Go on YouTube, like and subscribe. Follow us here on Twitch. Check out all of our own individual things. You know, Nick has Vinyl Casket. Nuno has I Talk Comics, Talking Pop Culture with Matt, Comic Book Biker with Carlo, and Carlos has is it Omnipotence? Or is it Omnipotent?
Omnipotent City Comics, just like
some hippie name. That's some hippie name, man.
Bro, what's happening here on a final note is that none of you have read Thor: God of Thunder, and that's where that comes from, and you're just missing out. So it's all good.
And I wanted to shout out for everyone on the internet to know that Manny is a hater on all side Thors. And if you're a fan of any of the side Thors, that you should unsubscribe from any of Manny's channels.
That is
and
untrue.
You can subscribe to all of ours.
That is untrue. I really like Frog Thor. So
Frog Thor doesn't count.
So who's the hater now? No, but no, for real. Thank you for watching. We are about to end this stream, but we will be talking Noctera in a couple of minutes, and just a comic book rant in general. So make sure to tune in on that and give us your thoughts so we can have something to jump on. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.